digital, baby. Digital deceiver shadows live in the mix. White socks. We don't chase clout, we chase truth. Now let's go. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. For those who have the day off, please, I hope that you have plans to enjoy it. First, I have to shout out TikTok President because she created this for me. She, in fact, created two. And I'll be honest, y'all, it literally brought a tear to my eye. I'm not even kidding. Because I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And so I have to give all praise and thanks to her. She sent it to me. She didn't. Oh, thank you, MLA. She didn't tell me she was doing it. It just showed up in my email. And when I tell you it made my day, it's probably going to make my month because it's absolutely beautiful. And I love it. And I plan on using it over and over and over again. It says everything I needed to say. So shout out to her. So let's see who's on the grid today. And I'm going to be honest, I'm adding one more person. I just didn't feel like changing the background. Changing the grid because it was so late at night. But I'm adding another person. So this morning we are going to talk about Cece, Sierra, Veronica Cakes. Yes, Mark Russell has made his return. I agree, Mama Bear, 100%. Shona or Pookie. We still have to discuss Aaron. Megan Medina is back, or Team Medina as she's known. And I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Yaz. My discussion on Yaz is different than what I normally do. But I have severe concerns for this little girl. And granted, she's 18 and that legally makes her an adult. But for me, she is a little girl. And I think that the larger community needs to play a role. It's hey, Cat Daddy. I don't know if your wife is here, but I love her. Good morning. And then I'm going to add Auntie Rifa because, yeah, I can't stand when somebody tries to use the Bible in their grift. Can't stand. Okay, let's start with Mark. Oh, by the way, if you are a member of the team, hit the Daily Heart Me. If not, stick around. If you like what you see, hit the Daily Heart Me. Gifts are appreciated but not expected. I would do this regardless. And the only thing that I ask is that every time I change the photo that you like the live until you feel the heart's tail. After that, take a break. Good morning, Disturbed One. Good morning, Granny Annie. I haven't seen anybody else. That doesn't mean you're here. To all my mods, thank you for being here. this morning. You love waking up to me. Thank you. Hey, Sherry. Good morning. Let's start with Mark. I don't know. Good morning, Disturbed One. I see you. I don't know where he goes in these gaps of time anymore. Like, I don't know if he finds somebody to take advantage of and he's there for a while and when they get sick of him. Ooh, excuse me. I did not make coffee this morning, so I'm probably going to yawn quite a bit. Forgive me. I don't know if he finds a place to stay, like a shelter for a while. I don't know what happens. But he always manages to come back to TikTok for money. He doesn't even try to like come back and just be like, hello, how is everybody doing? I'm okay. He's just straight up, I need money. And so this time, he immediately starts to complain about everybody coming in. Everybody coming in is a troll. Why? Because people aren't immediately like, oh, we're sorry. Hi, it's so good to see you. Everybody's a troll. But okay, if you don't agree, one thing about them is if you don't agree with them about everything, you're a troll. That does not make you a troll. And they always talk about what we need to look up and how. Look up the definition of a troll. Disagreeing with you about something does not make you a troll. Anyway. Someone mentioned to him that they haven't seen him in a while. And he said, I don't go live anymore. And what was his reason for not going live? Because he doesn't have a way to get money on here anymore. Well, why don't you have a way to get money anymore? He claims that his external payment apps no longer exist because the trolls got rid of them all. What? The trolls got rid of them all? Okay, Mark. Whatever you say. And if it's true, shout out to the trolls. Because you literally believed that you were going to continue to get money on here, to continue to be able to grift. So his new thing is that if you want to send him $100, send it via Western Union. Excuse me? Mark, I realized that your upbringing was rough. It wasn't traditional in any shape whatsoever. However, you are a grown man. Coming on here to beg for money, I don't care if it's once in a blue moon. It tells the rest of us that there hasn't been a single shift in your life. How about you come back when your life is together? I should have made a cup of coffee. I didn't want to be late, so I was like, forget it. Well, he didn't get the money. Shout out to Mark. But okay. Go make my coffee. It's okay. It's okay. I'll be okay. Let's talk about somebody else who returned. Megan. Oh, I'm sure Jordan is live. Ask let's get listen. He probably tell me how to make it from scratch. He probably be like, "Go get the coffee bean from the jungle." Like, we don't talk to him live for an hour now. Listen, she is going to stay. She will stay online as long as she needs to. And what we know is that Jordan begs for money behind the scenes. So does Julie Newton. She actually begged one of my burners for money from behind the scenes. And all I could do was laugh. Like, girl, I love when they think my burner is their friend. I love it. Yep, she sure did. Begged me for money behind the scenes. I need to go find it so I can show y'all. So Medina, we know that she's come back several times, mostly to show off that her life with Claudia is great. And they brought a car. And I thought they were living with her father, but it seems like the father is living with his family is living with his mom. And so when Medina moved in with Claudia, they moved into their grandmother's house. Goodness, I should have made a cup of coffee. I'm sorry. Anyway, Medina tells us that Claudia went back to her family. And she tried to blame her family for that by saying that Claudia was helping clean up and she was doing this, that, and the third, but it wasn't good enough. So she went back to her family. Well, if they felt like Claudia could have done more to contribute and she was just laying around, which is what we know she was doing in the hotel rooms. Claudia wasn't doing jack diddly squat. Medina was taking care of everything and treating Claudia like a baby. I could see a grandmother being like, "You're not going to lay around my house." But whatever, Claudia went back to her mother. And Claudia's mother lives with her daughter. And her daughter doesn't like Megan. So she can't go there either. And they are 3 hours away from each other now. And if they bought a car, Claudia took it. I told y'all from the beginning it was Claudia's car. It was never Megan's. Now, I'm under the belief system that Claudia gets a check. For what? I don't know. Because Claudia manages to have money all the time. It's always Megan is the one that has to beg for the money. And if Megan can beg so that Claudia can keep her money, she absolutely will do it. But she comes on semi-regular, not even regularly, every once in a while to tell us everything's great, everything's great. And then she came on the other night to say that her grandmother, Claudia, came to visit her. Her grandmother had words about it, and she left and went back to a hotel. And now she's calling herself homeless again. What I find interesting is that Claudia manages to maintain a relationship with her family, so she has somewhere to go when things fall apart. But Megan is going to mess up her relationship with her family. And if you're working and able to get a hotel room, then when Claudia is able to come see you, get a hotel room. And then it's not in your grandmother's house. Coffee first, TikTok second. Good morning to everybody coming in. So it doesn't make sense to me. Y'all know how I feel. When it doesn't make sense, it's probably not true. There's probably way more to the story than that. But it's easy to say they don't like our relationship, and because they're in a lesbian relationship, and we know a lot of families have problems with that, it's very easy to say that and people will automatically just be like, yep, we understand. But it doesn't sit right with me. But anyway, she comes live to say that she was able to pay for her own hotel room until Sunday. Now, you know, I write down everything. And so on Sunday, she had to work from 3 in the morning to 11 in the morning. And then Monday, she has to work 12 to 7, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I believe, and Friday. And as far as I'm concerned, that's good hours to start working somewhere that's 24 hours and you don't have to do the overnight shift every night. But we knew what was going to happen because she said, you know what, I'm just going to stick around my job until I get paid on Tuesday and I'll be straight. I'll figure it out. Well, we know what when they say they're going to figure it out, what figuring it out means. Figuring it out means I'm coming back to TikTok. And that's exactly what she did. Now, she originally said that Claudia was coming to see her on Valentine's Day, which makes sense, right? They're in a relationship. And Claudia didn't come. Why? Because she needed the chat to give money to her so that Claudia could do the 3-hour drive because Claudia needed gas money. And not only did she need gas money there, but she would need gas money back. And according to Megan, if we paid for her gas there and back, they could do DoorDash during the day and then she could make the money for the hotel room. My question is this: if you're going to DoorDash, why can't you earn the money for her to go back by DoorDashing? Because they was never going to DoorDash. She just wanted money for Claudia to come there and to be able to have the money to go back. Well, Claudia didn't come at all. In fact, she went to a party with her family, according to Megan. So now she done spent Valentine's by herself. And now she's back on TikTok begging for the money. So she ended up going to work. And when work was over, Megan came live to beg for the money. And then she says, when she comes back, immediately is, I have $5 towards the room. I thought you were good. I thought you had it. You mean to tell me, Kira, you're okay, honey. You have the ball in your mouth. Okay, maybe she stopped. She has the. I don't know what she's yelling for. She's playing with the ball. Why is she scream? Like, I don't know. Oh, really, Lisa Marie? White Sox doesn't do that. But anyway, they said good morning to you, ma'am. Mind you, there could be 100 balls in here, but she only wants one particular one. So, why would you choose homelessness over following your grandmother's rules? Did you leave or did you get kicked out? Those are two different things, Megan. And let me be very clear. When Megan wasn't on here begging, what was I doing? Minding my business. I didn't talk about you the entire time you weren't up here begging. But as always, if you start begging again on TikTok, guess what? You're going to end up back on the grid eventually. So she can't say, I'm just picking on her or I'm just coming out. Nope, because I didn't talk about you for weeks. When you came back and said you were doing well and you were working and everything, I reported that. I told everybody she's doing well, she's working, they live with her. I thought it was her father, but whatever. And I watched a few times to check and see if there was begging, and there wasn't. So I said nothing. When you stop begging on TikTok, I go away. Because it's not about you as an individual. It is about the fact that you're taking advantage of the kindness of others. When you are grown and can take care of yourself. Now, she said that Claudia is also looking for a job. Is she looking for that job locally or is she looking for that job 3 hours away? Well, she came back live at 2:40 in the afternoon to say she still needed $46. And immediately says, I've been holding in a lot of crying. What does that have to do with anything? Whenever she really needs money, she will pull that crying card out. You had a job and a safe place to live, and you gave that up? Mind you, Claudia hasn't, so why would you? What am I going to do next week? I'll be done working. Georgie, we going to fill that time, baby. We going to fill that time. Don't worry. You will fill that time. Good morning to everybody coming in. Just remember, oh, you're losing your job? Oh, I'm so sorry, Georgie. I thought you were retiring. Well, Georgie, there's some people in here who have resources to help you. She is back. To help you find work. Melissa, hey girl, you came in here to tell me to mind my own business. How come you not minding yours? Huh? I love when you tell me to do something you're not doing. She knows my stance. You don't beg, I don't talk about you. When you start begging, I'm going to talk about you. Period, point blank. And if you don't like it, why don't you go tell her to stop begging on TikTok? It's a simple solution. But you want to get up at this ungodly hour to tell me to mind my business. You mind your business, Melissa. Okay? Next. You came in at the end, girl. You should have came in at the beginning. Now, I need to say one thing first, and I have not seen the evidence. But if somebody took the photo of her stillborn daughter, made a post, and talked about that sweet baby of hers and his autism, you deserve to lose your entire account. Now, let me be very clear. If you put something on the internet lasts forever. And once you pass that Rubicon, once you open your photos or your life to the internet, you are welcoming criticism, opinion, support. And if you post your stillborn baby in a memorial video, to assume that the worst of the worst aren't going to take that photo and use it, you're fooling yourself. If there is something that you don't want the rest of the internet to take a hold of, don't post it. Don't post it. But just because she posted it doesn't give somebody else the right to utilize it to hurt her. And to talk about that sweet baby of hers, whether he has autism or not. Now, I haven't seen the proof. She said she was going to do a post and prove it so that people could report it, but I had to go to bed at some point and I didn't see it. Did anybody else see the post? Chief Slapper. Boop, boop. There's been no proof posted. Correct, Puppy Power. And I said that I wasn't sure because we know that they will create a storyline for additional sympathy right as they're going to ask for more money. I said that last night in the sub live. I said I'm going to wait for the proof. Because she came back online like an angry lioness. And if I can understand that feeling, especially when someone's talking about your baby. But I said I was going to wait for the proof because she claimed she was going to post it. And people were immediately like, how'd they get a picture of your stillborn? And she's like, that doesn't matter. But it does. But it does. Because again, once you post something on the internet, you open yourself up to people utilizing it. It's as simple as that. It's why you tell your children, don't send nudes to anybody, because even though you may think you can trust them, once you send it, you have no control over what happens to it after that. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, MLA. She said it came from Facebook. Well, that's interesting because she said during the live that, well, she posted it on Facebook and then it got put on TikTok. I don't know. Because she said as soon as she opened her TikTok that somebody sent it to her. And if it happened on Facebook, she showed the Facebook. If it happened on Facebook, why is she talking about it on TikTok? Well, no, there was somebody named Karen in the live that said, I did it. She reposted it to someone named Karen in her chat. Then when people asked her who did it, she said, Karen. See, you had to be there for it because Karen said, I did it. And Cece said, you probably did. That's not proof, y'all. That's not proof. But anyway, what we know is that she claims to be 4.5 hours away. Yeah, see, of course she's gonna latch on because somebody named Karen said, I did it. But that's not proof. She said she was going to post the account and the photo and the message where they were talking about her son having... Right, Harley? She said she's 4.5 hours away, but had a WIC appointment. But let me show y'all something. If y'all recall, I told y'all on Friday that he had a court date. Didn't I? Well, let me show you what happened at his court date. It was at 3:30. The prosecutor, Marissa Fillmore, was present. The defense was present. But look at that. Look what it says after that. In custody. Remember when she said she had to get away because he was out? He's in custody with his attorney for the preliminary examination. But because he's who he is, his attorney withdrew as counsel and the motion was granted. And because the counsel withdrew, they have to reschedule the preliminary examination for a later date. And he is still locked up. Now, based on what I've read prior to this, I thought he was out because they offered him a $75,000 bond and it looked like somebody had put up the property to get him out. But that might have just been the process because he is still in custody and his telephone privileges have been revoked. So did you really leave or did you tell everybody you left? She claims to be pregnant with twins. But she would have to have documentation proving she's pregnant to be able to get WIC. So if she went to a WIC appointment, which she told us last week, she had this week. That's what she told us. And I remember saying, why would you apply for food stamps and WIC when you're leaving the state? Now, she's probably going to say she said all of that so that he wouldn't be able to find her. But you don't have to lie to chat and say you're leaving the state if you're not. You just say, I'm leaving, right? I'm leaving. You don't have to indicate where, how far, nothing. And now you've told him that you're 4.5 hours away. So if this was really about maintaining your privacy, why even say that? But this man is in custody. What are we doing? Y'all, I think people were getting played. Good morning, Offer, when I saw you come in. I think people are getting played. I really do. Now, they're not getting played that he did it because the charges make it clear that he did it. But the rest, yeah, I'm not sure. Proof is in the pudding. Next. Oh. I don't even know if this is the count she's on. I didn't even feel like checking. I shouldn't say that. I was in a rush. But Pookie came on Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, Valentine's Day. Where I get Thanksgiving from? Goodness gracious. And she was expressing her shock and dismay about an incident that happened in her building. I'm hungry for turkey. I know. What did you say? Faye was on last night. I'm sure she was. She's still upset that people are getting money and she's not. Get a job, girl. But Pookie tells us a story about how her landlord and had workers there because there was a fire on the 3rd floor, and that on her floor, mind you, she told us she lives on the 2nd floor, that she heard a woman screaming, and the next thing she knows, the police ambulance are there and they're wheeling somebody out of the house. It was the woman's husband, and she heard that he got hurt, and then later on found out that he was pew-pewed and that they had to take him off life support. Which is a sad story. She then talks about how he and his... Wait, how do I want to tell this the part of the story? She talks about how it's shocking for her because she's from a small town where there's very little crime. And when she moved to the big city, which anybody with any sense knows, the larger the city, the more the crime. Like, come on. But it's shocking to her. And she's not sure what she's going to do. But you're locked into a lease, baby. And what she doesn't understand is that the wife was in the apartment while this was going down, and they didn't take her out. Now, she at first was trying to sell this as a random act of violence and how uncomfortable it made her. But I want to show y'all something, because this is what doxing yourself looks like. She told us where to go to read the story about what happened. This is what doxing yourself looks like, ma'am. So now we know that you're in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Okay. This is the article. And I crossed out the street. Hey, TikTok president, I love you. I showed what you did for me, and I so appreciate it. I have to thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you enough. Just know Mr. is jealous, and he might be reaching out to you. Okay, let me stay focused. I crossed it out. But this is what doxing yourself looks like. And so when somebody on the fringes of what we do decides to harass you or send you a message saying, I know exactly where you live and on the second floor, do not cry about it. Don't. Because you doxed yourself. Now, we know that it wasn't, after reading the article, it wasn't a random act of violence, because as you can see, the charges have been changed to trafficking, metheny, and first degree unaliving. And later on in the live, she says that she knows what they were doing and they kept it to themselves. So why are you trying to pretend like somebody just walked up in the building and did it? It was clearly a transaction gone wrong. She even says it, that they were doing what they did, but they kept it in their apartment. It doesn't matter. You could do that in $1 million home, a hotel, or on the street. If the transaction goes wrong, it goes wrong. And sometimes people are unalived when it goes wrong. What do you mean they were doing it in the privacy of their home and they kept it to themselves? Like, girl, you don't watch enough TV? Even if you have no life experience, TV tells you what's what. Maybe you should turn off the paranormal stuff and watch the news. Watch a movie or two, a documentary or two. Like, girl, what? But then after telling us this crazy story and doxing herself, she goes from talking about somebody's worst day in their life to, I put some items in my cart on Amazon, some clothes that I want to get for the spring. And yep, they're in my cart. And when I get my next check, I'ma buy them. What? Pookie. Pookie. What? Like, it literally, she went from telling that story and how alarmed she was that it happened on her floor and how bad it is to live in the city to I got a couple of cute outfits in my Amazon cart that when I get my check I'm gonna buy. Something cute to wear for the spring. And then she talks about how she had a great Valentine's Day. She DoorDashed herself some wings and fries and had cake and ice cream. Oh, okay. Well, maybe if you didn't DoorDash that, you could have bought the stuff off Amazon. And then she went right back to it. Well, I'm not talking bad about these apartments. It's just there's no security in these apartments. And we have homeless people coming in and out on the stairs and stuff. And then she said, these are Section 8 apartments. Because if they were, they would be better maintained. What? Ask the people in the projects. See, you can't conflate two things at once. Section 8 is a voucher program, and you are not required to live in public housing with Section 8. If you can find a private landlord, you can take your Section 8 there. And then there is public housing. And yes, Section 8 has rules. We talked about that the other day. But that doesn't mean that you're not getting assistance for housing just because you're not getting Section 8. Because I'm trying to figure out how she's paying cash with a disability check for everything. Now, in Muskogee, Oklahoma, the rent could be $300. I don't know. I didn't look that far. But something about it doesn't sit right with me. Then she then landed her plane with, do y'all know anything about that Ozempic? Yo, what people talk about on here blows my mind. So first she says her mother is on it and that it's making her mother sick because her mother isn't sticking to the diet. God, I should have got a cup of coffee. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I don't usually yawn this much. I can't believe they brought Flavor Flav to the Olympics. I'm sorry. But then she says that she was prescribed it. Thanks all for one. I appreciate you getting your coffee. I'm not gonna stop to go get coffee. Because this was supposed to be an abbreviated live anyway. I'll be okay. Y'all will just have to hear me yawn. And I apologize. That she was given the prescription, but she's afraid to take it because her heart flutters. And she doesn't want to be sick. Girl, do you know how many accounts I have come across where there are people talking about Ozempic? Why are you asking your chat such a random question? Put Ozempic in the search bar, and there are 50 women that are talking about being on the shot and how to manage it. She just wanted people to know. Oh, Muskogee is a rough town. Well, she's in it. I mean, when your neighbor is dealing out of their apartment, it ain't the safest. Excellent, Crystal. Congratulations. But again, like, I don't know if there is a subject not covered on TikTok. Put it in the search bar. And it's like, why do y'all expect everybody in the chat to know, to have experience, and furthermore, to believe them? Like, why are we getting diagnoses from the chat? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Wonderful, Crystal. Your new amazing grace. This is Pookie, and she doxed herself. So I wanted everybody to know when she starts crying about people doxing her, she did it to herself. Right, puppy power, because all it took. She doxed herself. She's a beggar. She's a dry beggar. And she tried to dry beg her way. Thank you, honey. You don't have to do nothing else. For anybody who wasn't here, let me show you what TikTok president did for me. Here's one. And here's the other one. I literally tears down the face. Literally. It was such a shock. Because I wasn't expecting it. I love that girl. Let's talk cake. So Cake thinks that by being on in the middle of the night, that's going to make a difference. Baby girl, it's not. Let me tell you. But what I know is that somebody must have told her what I said on Friday about when I said for somebody who's outside for 2 days because they couldn't afford their hotel room, where was her stuff? She had to come and tell everybody that because she's been there for 2 years, when she doesn't have the money, they don't make her take her stuff. For 2 days? For 2 days. They don't make you take your stuff? Even the people in her chat were like, yeah, that don't happen around here. You in a hotel and you don't pay, your stuff is out the door. Mind you, I can see them giving you extra time. I can see them giving you extra time after 2 years because you've always come up with the money. But 2 days and 2 nights? Correct. They could have used it to give somebody else the room. So there's either two things. She don't gotta pay for it every day. That's a lie. Or she paid for it and just didn't come live and then made the excuse. And then she said something last night that I thought was so like, do y'all not hear her? She decided to do church. And you guys know I was not watching that. Not everybody can do church for me. Sorry. Especially not somebody that I know smoked crack the other day. Girl, you can take your version and run because I don't want to hear it. But anyway, and remember, the devil knows the Bible better than we do. He was there during a lot of what happened. So, she literally said before she started her church service that she needs to go outside because she gets more people when she's outside. Did y'all not connect that and be like, wait, what? So you go outside because more people come in your life? Like, her acknowledgement of it out loud is something I knew from the beginning. But because people are so into just listening to whatever she says and not having a question, that they're not even paying attention. So on this day at 2:30 in the morning, which why am I awake? I don't know, but it just is what it is. Sometimes it happens. She says there was a fire drill and she was outside, but then said somebody pulled the fire, the thing, I can't even think of it now, and the alarm went off and they were all outside. Mind you, usually, thank you, before, when that's happening, you can hear it, right? You can hear the siren, woo, 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 until the fire department gets there, figures out what's going on, and turns it off. Thank you, thank you. I never heard the alarm. And once it was over, why she didn't go inside? Why she stay outside? But okay. She wanted money to eat now. She already had the room, now she wants some money to eat. And I don't understand why people still feel obligated to take care of this grown woman that refuses to do what is necessary so that she could go back to work. I am not even going to regurgitate it. We all know that she could have that leg taken care of. Even the lady who was here the other day said that Cake says that when she leaves the hospital, all they do is wrap it. There's a reason why. It's because it's lymphedema. And wrapping it and taking water pills helps get rid of the excess fluid. Period. I don't understand how you can hear her say that and at the same time hear her say it's not lymphedema. So what they wrap it for? If it was a broken foot, they would put it in a thing to keep it together. Really, Sammy Whammy? It's weekly or monthly rates, so the daily beg is a scam. Erica, she probably told you were lying about being a nurse, because that's what she do. Anybody that has experience, right, Puppy Power, there you go. Anybody who has any experience that could check her, she blocks you and says you're lying. I bet so too, Berries. I bet so too. With that foot, Showing that, and that's why she don't want to get it taken care of, because that's her moneymaker. She uses it for everything. And a lot of people believe she's getting disability. Yep, of course, Erica. That's what she does, because she doesn't want anybody in there that has the legitimacy to question her. Really? You know, anybody yelling at you when you offer... Oh, because she knows all the resources. And I remember when she said, if I got what's $900 gonna do? Bitch, stop you from begging, maybe. What do you mean? I don't believe she needs this money. I think she uses it to eat out, to do her extracurricular activities, and get her Mad Dog 2020, which again is the bottom of the barrel alcohol. It just tastes good because there's a lot of sugar and a lot of flavoring, but it gets you drunk really, really, really bad. So she's upset because the people who used to be in her boxes are no longer in her boxes. I wonder why. And apparently they've been talking about her because she's not been on the up and up. Right, Kenny, and she has diabetes. And she has diabetes. Now, somebody asked her a question, who is Kathleen? And when she's like, why you ask me that? The person already could tell she was going to go off, so they said, never mind. And she used that for the next 25 minutes to go off. Mind you, the person had helped her financially. And she went off so bad, the person was like, I want my money back. And of course, Cake was like, I'll give you your money back. And didn't. And didn't give her money back. Hold on, puzzle piece. And didn't give her money back. And didn't. Thank you, Big Sexy. And didn't. But she went off on her. She talked about how people are talking about her, but they don't know her. But people who give you money don't know you either, and you're okay with them. She's always talking about, y'all don't know me, and I don't know y'all. But so then why are people giving you money? You're constantly talking. So people do feel like they're getting to know you. I know enough to know that you'll get in the car and smoke crack. I know that. I know you have lymphedema and you're lying. I know that. I know that you have Medicaid and EBT and you're lying. I know that. So I don't need to know much more about you to know that you're a liar. And when you're a liar, that tells me everything I need to know about you, ma'am. Right, Wayne Patterson. Her stories don't even make sense from one live to the next. From 1 minute to the next. She will literally say something and 5 minutes later contradict herself. She is very rude and entitled. Very. And this is, again, I said this earlier, because I disagree with you for one thing, I'm no longer worthy? And then she said, I don't do drama. You don't. You are the drama. You don't do it. You are it. You are the drama. And of course, we're miserable. We're jealous. Of what? A woman who lives in a hotel, who she admits have rats, roaches, and mice, that has to walk around with a little scooter, who has to beg on the internet for the things that they want. Who, if I want to get DoorDash, I'll get DoorDash. I don't have to come to TikTok and say, please give me money so I can eat today. I'd rather have the pride of knowing I'm doing it for myself than having other people do it for me. Correct every design. Again, if you get to last long enough, if you're quiet enough, you'll stay long enough to understand that the stories don't even make sense. And because I write it down, I have the history. This was the part of that 3:00 in the morning live that set me off, though. So a woman named Caramel got in the box because, of course, Cake was being negative because that's what she does. Because that's her brand, is being negative. So she's being negative, and Caramel gets in the box. First, Lala gets in the box. And for Lala, her mod, to be so spiritual, like she's a Christian to a fault, because the Bible doesn't tell you to be kind and stupid. The Bible warns us about being around certain kinds of people, because the Bible warns that bad association rubs off on you. You don't rub off on them. It doesn't say be around bad people so that you can influence them. It doesn't. And I can't stand when people twist and turn the Bible to fit the narrative so that they can be okay with what they're doing. The Bible is plain and clear. So, girl, go sit down somewhere. That used to be how she did it, Wayne. That's how she used to get money. And when she realized she could get it here on TikTok, now all of a sudden there aren't any cars out there. There's nobody there. Girl, you live in Memphis. You aren't in some podunk town. If the street you're normally on isn't people, go to another corner. Come on now. There's nobody. Correct. Virtual panhandling. Digital panhandling. We went over those names the other day. E-begging. Pookie, if that's you, I saw you come in here, and yes, I did talk about you. Sure did. Because you doxed yourself. I just saw Pookie come in here. I'm not sure if it's that Pookie, but if it is, you doxed yourself, ma'am. So I don't want to hear you cry about it. I don't want to hear you cry about it. So Caramel gets in the box to encourage her too, right? Which is nice. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Pookie. When I see a Pookie come in, I'm going to automatically assume it's her. I'm sorry. Damn, I wish you were her, though. But I'm glad you're not. Anyway. So, Caramel tells her to go on YouTube and learn about something related to truck drivers. No, don't pretend to be, honey. Don't pretend to be. You're on our side. We keep you over here. So she said that if Pookie goes and learns this on YouTube, that she would have a job, a remote job, a job she could do from her phone, from anywhere. That Caramel owned a business, and I believe she said she had 13 semi-trucks. And guess what happened to Cake in her mouth? It shut completely. Lala is like, I need to hear about this. What is this? What do you have to do? Lala engaged more. Cake didn't engage at all. It's the quietest I've ever heard Cake when she's live. She didn't say a word. She didn't inquire. She didn't say, well, because she doesn't have any intention on getting a job. That was a job she could sit down and do. She could do from anywhere. And I promise, if she needed a laptop to do it, Caramel would have sent it to her. She literally had a job on the table and didn't say a word. You got two other people in the box fighting for your life, trying to help you get ahead so you don't have to beg on TikTok and you don't have nothing to say. But y'all are still in there giving her money when she had the opportunity to work for herself and get her own money. And I'm sure Caramel would have paid her very well. She'd rather beg on TikTok. If that doesn't tell you who she is, then I don't know what else you need. I really don't. I don't know what. Jordan must not be getting the money because she's going back and forth between her accounts like crazy. Right, Sandy. All it takes is the offer of a job and K Cool. And I've never seen her allow two people to take over her live like that ever. Ever. And while those two were in the box, is when she said that even though she wasn't there for those 2 nights, that they allow her to leave her stuff in there. And I said, somebody told her what I said on Friday. And so 2:30 in the morning, Saturday morning. So this was technically it was the same night, but just Saturday morning. She had to tell them that. And Caramel and Lala were like, we don't got a hotel around here that does that. You got to get out. Caramel and Lala, if it didn't ring true to you, why are you still talking to her? Why do you still believe her? Y'all, it's like you're asking me not to hear my lying ears. If you can't do it where you live, why do you think somebody in Memphis would allow her to do it for 48 hours? And you want me to believe that you sleeping outside in the dead of winter in Memphis, Tennessee was the 2 best days of your life because you didn't have to come on TikTok? Does that even make sense? She had the room. She didn't want to come on TikTok, because she was upset that the people she was closest with were talking about her. That's why she didn't come on. Oh, thank you, Erica. Not because I've never seen that before. That was cute. Not because she was okay with sleeping outside. That's not why. So y'all keep believing her if y'all want to. I'm gonna tell her, like I said to Medina, you want me to leave you alone? Stop begging on TikTok. Oh, thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Granny Annie. Now, let's see. You said, where's her family? She has a mother and a sister that she can't live with because they're in housing. They're there, though. Now, Auntie Reefa went live multiple times, but I'm only going to talk about one of them. I'm sorry for I decided to change the photo that I normally use of her because I want you to notice that when she was talking, she couldn't even look at the camera. And I took multiple shots of her not looking at the camera. Nicole, who are you talking about? Auntie Reefa? I know she lives with her mom and her mom and her sister. So this was Sunday morning. And she comes on and immediately says she's on because one of her supporters told her to go live. What? I swear, that is a part of a scammer's grift, boy. Somebody else told you to go live on a Sunday morning? Because she's a beggar. That's why you see her all the time. She uses TikTok like a free ATM service. And let me be clear, she used to claim she was on the street. Now suddenly she was able to move in with her mother and her sister in her own room. In her own room. She's in her own room. And you mean to tell me that wasn't never available to her before? Okay. And not only does she ask for money for herself, but part of her beg is putting money on her man's books, who she calls her husband. Because he's locked up. And guess how long he's going to be locked up for? He got another 2 years. And you think for the next 2 years people is going to give you money on your books? On his books? I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Oh. They belong to the Baker Bay. Yes, all for one. They do. Oh, yeah, she's quick to block. She's quick. But this is what's so funny. The person who told her to go live, according to her, never showed up. And mind you, she sent that person to live 3 times at least. 3 times at least. And they never showed up. So did they really tell you to go live? So there were only about 2 to 3 people in the live. And somebody came in and she actually has the nerve to call somebody out by name and say, did you send your daily heart me? Or you don't support me like that. You don't show me support like that. Girl, it's 2 people in here. And mind you, she also said, you don't have to just tap. You could send the daily heart me. You could send me gifts. Girl, what? Oh, Auntie Reefa is... she's in a class by herself. So then, again, we might have 4 people in here now. She's like, you can go to tiktok.com/coins and, what did she say? And recharge. You can go, she must have said it 3 or 4 times. You can go to tiktok.com/coins and recharge. And it's cheaper than recharging on here. So somebody named Harmony did in fact recharge and send her a daily heart me. And she was like, oh my goodness, I was getting depressed because I didn't think anybody loved me. What? She uses depressed a lot. And as a person with the diagnosis, it pisses me off. Because you're not actually depressed. Please stop using that diagnosis whenever you're not getting your way. That's not depression. That's being mad. That's being salty. That's being a big baby. But it's not depression. Stop saying it. And then the woman who she called out said, I'm broke. And this is, Auntie Reefa had a nerve to be like, well, you could claim that, but I don't claim being broke. I might not have it, but that's not going to ever be my mindset. Yeah, because you're going to use it to get money from other people. That's why you don't have the mindset of broke. Because person with the mindset of broke is like, I don't want to be broke anymore, so let me do what I need to do to no longer be broke. Really, President? I didn't even get that far. It is manipulation. Girl, whether you claim it or not, you're broke. You don't have to claim it. Your life is what it is, and it's broke. But why do you feel like somebody else can't be honest and be like, I had to pay my bills? You aren't part of my bills. Sorry, you nor your man are my responsibility. So I might have money in my pocket, but it's not for you, so I'm broke. Because the money I do have is going to me and mine. But you mean, like, what? And depressed over a heart me? Come on, man. And then the girl Harmony, who did give her the daily heart me, she must have said her name. She was like, Harmony, harm, Nene. It's not cute. You might think you're being cute. It's not cute. And then she said, I don't want to cry. Because now I feel so much love over one daily heart me. The amount of performative actions in this 5-minute span of time threw me. So then right after saying I'm not asking for anything, she asked for $5 so Unc could call. So that he could talk to y'all. Not her, to y'all. Because They did speak on Valentine's night, but he was being a Debbie Downer because he was in prison. So he didn't do Juicy right. Now, if y'all remember the last time I talked about her, I told you what her Juicy is. And if you don't know, just imagine what could a Juicy be that he could take care of from prison. Yo. She needs a battery operated boyfriend if maybe she's using one while he's in prison. But he must not have been talking to her right, because she's I'm sorry. This is why are we talking about this on TikTok? Why? Like I'm writing this down and I'm like, yo, let me see what note I said. Oh my God. I put, like, what? Is there nothing sacred about your relationship? And why do you think random people on the internet want to hear about your telephone relations? And so she was like, he didn't take care of her last night, but he took care of Juicy this morning. He didn't take care of Jack Diddley Squat, ma'am. And just remember, we got 2 more years of this. But why? Like, I'm not going to front. When girlfriends get together, some girlfriends talk and they share. And I'm not going to say I never have. But damn if I'm not going to share it on the internet for anybody to hear. Like, you're not in, like, your girlfriend chat. You're not on FaceTime with your friends. This is public. But then to talk about it and the fact that it's happening over the phone while he's in prison, like, come on. But people feel like oversharing is being transparent. Those are 2 different things. The fact that we know the name you've given it, too far. You could easily be like, well, we take care of each other. That's enough. That's enough. We know that it has to be over the phone. Like, come on. Mind you, her mother is walking through the house. I'd be so embarrassed. And my mother probably would have stuck her head in and been like, who are you talking to? Why are you talking like that? Correct. We do not care. Then she tells people to send it to, y'all tell me, because I've never heard of this. She said that all creators have a fan CA, like a FAN CA, and a personal CA. Is that real? I'm awake, because I have never heard of that. Have y'all heard of that? No, I haven't gotten a cup yet. And now my allergies are like, I'm having the worst morning. I have never heard of that. I was like, a fancier. And she was like, all creators have that. I have never, not once, heard that before. But this is what was funny. She said, she said, oh, when you go and send it to the fan CA, it's going to say something to you about scam. Just ignore that and send it anyway. The fact that you're telling them that that CA is gonna warn you that this might be a scam, and you're gonna send it anyway. Yo, now you know why I only watched one, because she took me out. She took me out. I have never heard of a fan CA before. And y'all are fans? That's what she calls you now? Right. Ignore the red flag. And they did. They sent it to her. They sent her the $5. Then she suggested that people break the law. She told them that, because somebody said, and again floored me, when I get my tax return, I'm gonna send you something after I pay my bills, because I'm a single mom with a 3-year-old and I gotta pay her daycare. So you're gonna prioritize a stranger over? Why don't you take that money and get a college fund started for your 3-year-old? Why don't you do that instead of taking care of a grown woman and her prison man? Now, don't get me wrong. Let me be very clear. I've had a boyfriend in prison before. I was really young. But I've had a boyfriend in prison before. He was there less than a year, but we've done it. So I've done the phone calls, and back then, they weren't as easy as they were now. You wasn't getting no phone call on $5. You didn't have video chat back then. I was young. But anyway, she then suggests to them that if they have a dependent that they don't need to claim, or they know of someone that can be her dependent, let her know so she can put them on her taxes. What? On a public platform, you're having that conversation? Do they not realize the internet is forever? Why would you what? With a straight face. But as you can see, multiple times, said Lori Jones, multiple times, she couldn't even look in the camera. Literally, I shouldn't say multiple times. Most of the time, she was looking to the side. And when hey, Candy Kisses, and when I realized that when she was talking, she was looking to the side, I thought, why? Because you can't look in the camera and say this nonsense? And I snapped a few photos every time she did. I shouldn't say every time, but multiple times when she did it. And when she would stop talking, she would look at the screen. And then when she started up again, she would look to the side. Yeah, it's a big tell, Spongy. A big tell. Girl, don't ever try to play poker. My thing is, she lives with her sister and mom. She gets all the government services. She has the ability to work. Why are y'all taking care of her? I know. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. She thinks she's cute. It's not. It's embarrassing. Really, Mad Holly? It's a tell. It's real easy. And then she starts on, she literally has a Bible on her chest. Mind you, it's only the New Testament and Psalms and Proverbs. I prefer the whole Bible, but whatever. And she kept saying, I cracked my Bible open. I cracked my Bible open. Did you read it though? Did you read it? I know she did it at the end of this live. I was like, I almost snapped a photo and I was like, never mind. She wanted me to gift her and her husband, and when I gift her, she leave in a flash. Of course. Of course. As soon as they get the money, they're out. And why does her man need to talk to y'all? She acts like she's doing something for y'all. Yep. Pixie power, she does. She absolutely does. She claims she has all these trials and tribulations and that she's giving them to God. She opened her Bible, but she doesn't want anything. You've already asked for the $5. What do you mean you don't want anything? You have already asked for the $5. She said if she doesn't get the money to put it on the books, again with the word, he's going to be depressed. He's depressed when he can't talk to y'all. Why? I can see being depressed if he can't talk to her, or not be able to talk to his family, but he's locked up. He's away from everything that's happening in the world, and he's going to be for 2 more years. But to strangers on the internet? Mind you, and maybe where he's locked up, but have any of y'all come across the lives when it's like 10 men from prison on live? Legit locked up on TikTok live, having a funky good time. And let me tell you how far that has gone. So this guy was on a live with, and y'all might have heard this story. He was on a live with his buddies in jail. A girl came across him, thought he was handsome. They ended up getting in each other's DMs, and she went to prison to see him. And during a ruckus, they snuck into the bathroom and did a quick 1-2, and now she's pregnant. Have y'all heard that story going around TikTok? And she don't want you to judge her. He told her he didn't have any kids, but she found out he does. And then he came up with some excuse about he never got them DNA tested. Shut up. But she wants a big time shower, a digital shower, like $10,000. You saw her, but don't try to shame her now, cause she did what she did with a man she barely knows, and not ashamed at all, at all. And she seemed like she was doing very well in life. TikTok, social media has made everything okay. And she literally has people in there fighting for her life. Like, yep, girl, don't be shamed. Do what you do. And she deserves some shame. No, they're not married in real life. She talked about how she doesn't want to be called a beggar or a dry beggar for the things she needs in life. Talking to your man in jail is a privilege. It's not a need, it's a want. Being able to DoorDash food to your mama house isn't a need, it's a want. Getting money off of TikTok for random things like snacks is not a need, it's a want. So stop putting your wants in the category of needs and making it somebody else's problem. Because if it was truly a need, you'd make it happen for yourself. Of course, because when she wanted y'all to pay for hotel rooms and stuff, she had to make them evil. That's what they all do. They make their family and friends seem evil and nasty and mean. And without you, their TikTok family, they wouldn't have anything. You're an ATM to them. You're not family. Period. Do you know how many people are mentally ill with jobs? It is emotional. I saw Jay say the other day, like, what is up with these parasocial relationships? They don't know you. You are literally a name on TikTok and a Cash App account. That's it. Literally, one of the ladies was her husband or boyfriend or whatever was taking her to Ruth's Chris. It's a steakhouse. It's a nice steakhouse. I've had better steak at other places. I've been to Ruth's Chris multiple times. It's a fancy restaurant for no reason. It's actually an old-fashioned fancy restaurant for no reason. But I've been, because everybody wants to say they've been to Ruth's Chris. So that's what this woman was saying, that her man was taking her to Ruth's Chris. And this is her. Reef was like, how was Ruth's Chris? Tell me, did you get steak? What did you order? Did you get steak? And how did you get it? Did you get it medium well, rare? Oh, it was a little bit pink. How did it taste? Girl, what? Like, you ain't never have a steak before, Reefa? Just because it was at Ruth Chris? If you've ever, because if once you've gone to Ruth Chris, you be like, I can make a better steak at home. Like, what? Hey, Cat Daddy. Don't be saying Cat Daddy name in the comments. Because if I see Cat Daddy, I'm going to say Cat Daddy. Then she's giving them advice. Make sure you smile through the pain and give it to God. Because I cracked open my Bible. You know I'm going to let you in every time.
Hi, honey.
Hi.
So I just wanted to say one quick thing. For anybody who is not familiar with somebody in prison, they have jobs there that you can do to make extra money so that way you can get things on your books. You're allowed 2 free calls a month to your family. You're also provided food and everything that you need there, okay? This is not some big, oh, he's going to do without if you guys don't send in, or he's going to be mistreated or so sick. He says that he has dietary restrictions. They will meet your dietary restrictions to a certain limit. If he can't eat pork, they will find you other things that you can eat. Okay, so the illusion that he's going to be sick if he can't get canteen food is absolutely ridiculous. They also talk on the phone 5, 6, 7 times a day.
A day.
Those calls, you guys, are expensive.
Very.
They're expensive.
That's why when she said all she needed was $5, I was like, a $5 phone call from jail?
Yeah, those calls are expensive. So when you're donating to her, she likes to say, oh, my mother doesn't feed me, I don't have food, but yet every time she's on live, she's eating.
Yep.
Okay. And then she likes to say, her new thing is now she likes to use her family as the bad guys. I got to get out of here, guys. Please help me. Please donate. I got to get out of here. It's because her mama called her out on live one day. She
Really?
was
What her
on
mama said?
live begging for food, and her mama said, I got you a plate in there. Why are you on there begging for food? So, another thing I want to say, when I was in the thick of my mess and I was in prison, my brother told me, and I'll never forget it, it changed my life. He wouldn't have to visit me, send me money, or show me support if I didn't keep my ass out of jail. Okay? He would be there with me. And I'm telling you, that changed my life. That saved me because it was the most accurate thing anybody could have ever told me. If I didn't break the law to run my ass to jail, I would be with my family. So why am I relying on my family while I'm in jail to do the visits, to write the letters, to provide the money, to accept the expensive ass phone calls? I would be there with them. Now, some people make quick mistakes and they learn from their lesson. But when you're enabling somebody, just like an addict, when you're enabling an addict, they don't see a reason to change their ways. It's the same with prison, okay? You're going to keep going back and back and back if they make it too easy for you. If they're making it comfortable for you, you're going to keep going back because you don't see a problem with it.
Right. You could become institutionalized. And I
Exactly.
actually knew somebody who did better in prison than he did on the street. And so
Let his ass sweat it out in there. He's the
right, he
one
would go
who.
back every winter because it was easier than trying to get a place.
Yep. He's the one who put himself there and why they are manipulating. And I noticed that her crew that enable her are young girls.
Yep.
They're young girls. Single moms, young girls who are out here struggling themselves, taking care of her who is able-bodied and somebody behind bars who already has everything provided. Let his ass sweat it out.
Yep.
So, but that's all I wanted to say other than I love you, honey.
I love you too. Mr. is so jealous. He was like, I like that. I want one. Shut up. This was for me. So thank you. I honestly, it literal tears.
I
And I
love you
don't
so
know
much.
what made me so emotional, but it shocked the crap out of me. And I'm not
Aw.
kidding. If I didn't have tears, I wouldn't tell you. I would just be like, I like it. Literal tears.
Well, I love you
So
so
thank
much,
you.
honey. But yeah, I watch and I stream this one all the time. So if you guys aren't able to get in her live, you guys are blocked. I do stream her a lot. This is my VP Carrie. It's her favorite Beggars, so we watch her often. So,
It's a show. That's for
yep.
damn sure. It's a
Alrighty,
show.
honey. I'll drop down for
Thank
you.
you. No problem. So this is the thing, and I'm glad she told that story. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Hey, cat daddy. Anyway, I'm glad she told that story because what I wrote down was that she acts like, and they act like we haven't lived a full life of ups and downs. We have all been through extremely tough times. And so I wrote down some of mine. I was essayed as a child. I got pregnant by my 24-year-old boyfriend when I was 18 and had my son at 19. We got divorced. My second husband passed away from a heart attack in our living room. I was 25, he was 39, and I had a 6-year-old little boy. I've been fired from jobs before. I had a boyfriend who was locked up. But through it all, I worked hard. You don't have to feel sorry for me. Since then, both of my parents have passed away. Fortunately, at the time, I had my parents. And you will never, ever, ever hear me say that my parents were bad to me. Did they do everything I wanted them to do? Hell no. Did they check me on a regular basis? Yes. And when I had my son, everything shifted to him. Everything. But through it all, I figured my life out. I worked. When my girlfriends from high school were having a funky good time and working at Wendy's and then quitting because they didn't like their shift that day and they went and got a job somewhere else, I went and got a job that had benefits because I needed to take care of my son because I very quickly became a single mother because he divorced. Well, I ended up divorcing him, but he left me on my birthday. He left me on my birthday. That was my birthday present, he told me. So when you sit there and act like the things in your life are so dramatic, and that's why you are where you are, that's why you struggle to get people in your life who have actually lived life. Because, girl, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And we didn't have social media to come to say, give me money. I'm in a bad way, give me money. When I got fired, I went and got another job. Because what was I going to do? Not work? And I want to say this again and again for anybody who's considering this lifestyle. If there is even a Social Security by the time you retire, by the time you hit, what is it now, 70? How are they going to live on, what will it be by then? Maybe $1,400 a month? How are they going to survive on that? Huh? They're barely surviving now on 900. Really, Lady Army? Wow. Well, she can waste her time and energy on a young boy. But I want to see what happens if the money stops. I want to see what happens if the money stops. Okay, thank you. And if you can't send it on TikTok, my email is digitaldeceivershadow, all one word, at gmail.com. And if you miss any or part of the live or the whole thing, it will be posted on YouTube by this evening. Clearly, I'm going to need a nap. Good for you, Sensory Mom. Good for you. Now, who else do I have? Oh, Aaron and Yaz. Let me do Yaz first. Because the outgoing... Now, Yaz. If you guys aren't familiar with Yaz, Yaz is a brand new 18-year-old. Brand new 18-year-old. Who literally has a video on her page that I don't understand how TikTok hasn't taken it down, where she says she wants to be RAPED. And yes, she is a beggar. But I am terrified for this little girl. I am terrified for this little girl. She gets in cars with random men. She walks away with random men. She goes to random men's houses. She gets them to get her hotel rooms. She tells people to pull up and tells them exactly where she is, what street she's on. And she's here in Florida, and it is not a little place. She is in a major city in Florida. She does. She stole from a man in his room. I am terrified for her. And what disappoints me more is that there will be 500 and 600 people in her live. And there are people that are laughing. Now, don't get me wrong. There are many people who are in the chats like, please don't do this. Please don't go with him. Please walk the other way. But this is Yaz's thing. You want me to walk away from him? You pay for it. I'm hungry. I want something to eat. If he's going to pay for it, I'm going to go with him. And if you don't want me to go with him, you pay for it. She has a mom. She has a place to live. But she got grown and decided she was done. And her mama was like, I'm done. You want to be out there doing the most? I don't want to have to worry about you. And as a mom, I remember that feeling. Not that my son was wilding out like that, because he wasn't. But he was also a boy. But everybody, every child gets to the age where they think they're grown. And I did the same thing at 18. That's how I got pregnant. I decided I was an adult because society said I was an adult. So, mom and dad, I'm an adult. But I damn sure wasn't wilding out like that. I damn sure wasn't standing on a bed talking about white socks. There is no room for you. Go. Why don't you please go back? I wish my mama would have seen me do a video that talked about I wanted to be RAPED. I wouldn't have an ass. There'd be no ass for you to grab. As I said last night, I wouldn't have an ass. I would have missed an entire week because she would have beat me into next week. Are you kidding me? Sometimes she's somewhere on her backup account. Somebody told me she'll be in a house somewhere. But on her main, she's on the street. Yesterday, she actually looked like, I'm going to show y'all. I hope I have this. This was her laying on the street. Excuse me. That always clears out the cats. This was her laying on the ground, right near a road. And at one point, I thought she was in the road. So a man stopped and was like, are you okay? And she sat up and was like, yeah, I don't have nowhere to go. He just pulled off. He was like, and I'm not. And I'm not doing it. She doesn't care how old the man is, how young the man is, nothing. I know Maggie did, but even Maggie told her to stop getting in the cars with men. Even Maggie was like, stop doing that. You're a young, pretty girl. And this is what kills me about it. She has been fortunate that she hasn't come across the wrong person yet. And I think she thinks being on her phone is a protection. And maybe for some men it is, because they know, but she won't even show the men. Right, Erica. She won't even show them, so that if something happens, people knew, at least have a photo of the last person she was around. She won't even show them. Yeah, I know. There's a video where she's robbing him. I know. But all it takes is once. All it takes is once. The wrong man with the wrong intentions. Or a man that she decides to steal from or take advantage of. And it's the last disrespect he's ever going to take on this side. Somebody with nothing to lose. Oh, you want to see the account? Okay, I'm sorry. Before I show you the account, I want you to see how fresh-faced she is. This is her. Braces and all. That is how she doesn't even look 18. Beg for it, AP. This is how fresh-faced she is. She don't care about you seeing signs, street signs, the gas station she's standing in front of. She doesn't care. Yeah, because she's under her mom's insurance. No, they're not cheap braces. This isn't about calling her out for begging. It's not. This is one time where I'm calling to action, because every time I see her live, I'm going to spend time reporting her page. And I'll tell you, yesterday, while I was in her live, I'm sorry. Yesterday, while I was in her live, she was begging for money. And she told them that if they gave her money, they could shoot anything in her arm. She told them that if they gave her money, they could unalive her. They could give her any pill. And I reported and reported and reported and reported. And it came back, no violation, no violation, no violation. And then on the 6th time, I got a violation and they took her account down. She could be my daughter. She could be somebody's granddaughter. She is somebody's daughter and granddaughter and great-granddaughter. She has siblings. And a mom that was so fed up. She was probably not coming home some days, coming in whenever she felt like it. You know, all of the things. And if you're not a parent, the worst feeling in the world is to expect your child home by a certain time and they don't come and they don't answer the phone and they turn off their location and they put it in airplane mode. Worst feeling in the world. You could be dead tired, but you can't sleep. How many times do you think a parent is going to put up with that? Because I'd rather just not know. I'd rather not know. But we know that there are people in her lives who know her, who are probably telling her mother, it is getting dangerous. So yesterday she said she spoke to her mother and that her mother is thinking about letting her come back. But this is the problem. As long as people are giving her money and propping her up, does she feel like she needs to respect her mother now? Or does she know that if she goes back into the street, people are going to give her money anyway? People are going to put her in hotels anyway, and then she could be off doing whatever she wants to do. If you see her and you see her saying or doing anything that we know would be against community guidelines, I don't care if it comes back 35 no violations. Somebody is going to get her. I was shocked when I got a violation. And let me be clear, she got violated over and over and over again. And because she has a backup, she just goes from one account to the next. Let me show you her acts. Now, she's vile. She will curse you out in a minute. She has literally been, I think Sherry told us last night, she has literally been asleep on live. And there's hundreds of people still watching. Can you imagine who those were? Because if I see somebody sleeping, I report them for fake engagement and I move on. There has never been anybody, not a famous person, not the only person I like to watch sleep is my granddaughter and Mr. And I love to watch Mr. sleep because I know he is finally getting rest. It makes me feel good to know he's asleep and resting because that man works hard. And my granddaughter, because she's just an angel. She's so sweet. But that's it. I'm sorry. And white socks too. He looked at me like, and me too. As long as he's not laying on my chest, we're good. This was her slamming on, when she was slamming on the ground. Please, if you see either of these accounts live, now don't just report for the sake of reporting. She does, AB Baby, send it to me. Reporter. Because because she gets taken down all the time. I'm not going to say Roxy. I'm not going to say where she is. I mean, if you watch her long enough, you'll find out. She'll tell you. But I'm not going to. Sensory Mama, I get it. I get it. My son is 40. I don't care nothing about him sleeping. I mean, not 40. He's in his 30s. Whatever. Ooh, don't say that about yourself, girl. My son is in his 30s. I care about his daughter sleeping, not him. I'm praying that something happens. Because this is the thing. Even if she goes home to her mama, she still has time to be in the street. And if she feels like her body is worth nothing, somebody's going to take advantage of that. So let me be clear. She is a beggar, but that's not why she's here. She is on my page because I want as many people as possible to see her and report her. When you see, I don't care if it's just begging, report her. Correct, Sherry. Thank you for saying so. Go to her pages and look at her videos. And I know that there's lots of people who have made videos. Go watch them too. Put her name in the search bar. You only have to put Yaz, and it's like they know what Yaz you're talking about. Correct, Miss Coffee. And I'm not going to say that there aren't people in there who are trying to dissuade her from this behavior. But the people who are enjoying it are louder than they are. Vanilla Baby, 110%. Because she's not a minor. She was able to prove she was 18. That's why. Oh, she's on every day. Every day. And she goes from this baby thing to being vile, to cursing everybody out. It's scary, y'all. I was shocked when I got the violation, though. I saw her go down before they told me about the violation. I was like, I don't think it's in this phone. Let me see if I have it. Because I sure snapped a photo. A violation? No, it's not on this phone. So please, y'all, help get this girl. By the way, y'all remember her? New account. KTM. That's what she does every day. My son is living. He's living. He had another MRI. I'm about to say yesterday. Friday. So hopefully we'll get some answers. But just for the record, guys, this is the new account. And they're in somewhere. They finally moved in somewhere. I don't know where they are. Oh, thank you. I don't know where they are, but they're in a place. Thank you, guys. Thank you. He appreciates it. Oh, by the way, Bree has been going live on her Reborn Mama for Life account. What is her name? Hold on. I'll tell you in a second. Used to be Heartbreaker, Risk Taker. No, Tanisha, send her to me. I've never heard of her. This is Elena. It used to be Heartbreaker, Risk Taker. So she's rebranded now that they have a place to live. But nothing has changed about her. Just so that I can give y'all that update. You know, when I find it, I'm going to tell y'all. So finally, we're going to land on Aaron. Apparently, Aaron has been going around. No, I shouldn't say apparently. Aaron has been going around to creators that he thinks has influence. He ain't never write me though. I'm a nobody. Anyway, to try to convince awareness to stop covering him. Aaron, have you made it to your location, to your job yet? Because now you're a week late. Correct, Berries. Could anybody tell me to stop covering him? No. Not at all. If I thought he was going to stop begging, I'd give him a reprieve. I absolutely would. I did it for Kat. And the moment Kat came back and was begging, she was on the grid the next day. That's when she tried to lie and say that the girl cut her and she showed blood everywhere. And then later we found out that she had cut herself. But you want me to stop talking about you, Aaron? Stop begging on the internet. Stop covering your man. So his new target is Checkmate. Picture Checkmate being able to tell me I gotta stop talking about Aaron. Buddy, we are not a monolith. We didn't sign a union card saying that we had to do everything that the president of the union said. I am an independent. Just like that Jupiter told you that they do this independently of any group and they do what they want. I'm the same way. What did you say? ST left the app, probably just changed names. I don't know who ST is. Somebody get that check my video out of here, please. Thank you. So, the anti-bullying movement, as his account now says, came live the other night, clearly inebriated. Clearly inebriated. He was singing, making a fool out of himself. He was outside smoking a cigarette. Why? Because he had another hotel room. I wonder who paid for that. Did you ever pay the Army veteran back for borrowing money for you? Which still pisses me off. I'm probably more pissed off about it than the actual Army veteran. Right, of course. So he's clearly inebriated. And it's just like when somebody is high. They sound normal internally. So they think they sound normal externally. It's the same thing with an alcoholic or someone who gets drunk. They think they sound normal. They think they look normal. They don't. He was clearly inebriated. And at one point during the live, you see him pour out of a can onto the ground. And it was the majority of the can. And he was like, see, I told y'all I don't drink that much. Sir, that could have been the last can in a 6-pack or a 12-pack or a 24-pack. You pouring out one can on live tells me absolutely nothing. As far as I was concerned, it was just performative. Correct, Marys. It was all performative. Because again, when you do things just to prove something on TikTok, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And the way you were acting, the clearly inebriated way in which you performed that day tells me everything I need to know. And the fact that you needed to pour out a beer, because this is the thing. Somebody gave you that money for that beer, sir. You haven't gotten your Social Security check yet. So if you weren't going to drink the whole beer, why did you buy it? Why'd you buy an entire can of beer? No, I think he had a 6-pack. And he was walking around with the beer. And there could have still been beers upstairs. We don't know. And he poured it out just to be able to say, see, I don't drink a lot. Whoever gave him the money for that, I'd be pissed. But of course, he's not going to ask for money for that. He's going to say, I saved it and bought it myself. You didn't save Jack Diddley squat. Other people gave you the money. Oh, he was drinking mixed drinks at the bar first? Damn, I missed that. The other thing I noticed was that he had a fresh haircut. Who paid for that? Really, Rachel? I'm going to have to go see if somebody's posted them lives and go back. Yes, he also got the phone paid for. And somebody probably purchased him a new jacket. I covered her already. Yes, I covered Cake already. Miss Veronica wants people to believe that since she's been there for 2, he gets SSI. He hasn't worked enough. Good morning, everybody coming in. And if at any point you miss anything about my live, please go over to YouTube. It will be up there by this evening. And the only reason why it takes so long is because it takes hours for me to download my lives from TikTok. Didn't I say this was going to be an abbreviated live? Jesus Christ. Well, I added Auntie Reefa, so that added, okay, I don't feel so bad. I should have got a cup of coffee. Because I was like, I'm going to be in and out 8:30 max. I don't even know why I bother to say that anymore. I can always talk until 9:30. Anyway, just for the person who was asking about cakes, she tried to tell everybody that because she was there for 2 years, she can leave her stuff in there even if she hasn't paid for it. We all know that's a lie. And somebody said that they called the hotel. And I'm going to need proof of that, by the way. Whoever said that they called the hotel and it's either weekly or monthly. So when she asks for it on a daily basis, she's lying. But I'm going to want to see proof of that. So then, of course, when a troll, I don't even know if it was a troll. Because they use the word troll for people asking a simple question. He said that trolls are doing it to him for clout, or we don't have a life. Bubby Bowers, stop it. Wait, I missed the pinned comment. I'm sorry. What was the pinned comment? Oh, the YouTube. Okay, thank you, my dear. Aaron, I'm going to use the Beth line. There are bigger and badder bitches on TikTok we could cover. Clout from what? And welcome back, Miss Coffee. I'm so happy you're back. Missed you, girl. And by the way, for those of you going live, I might miss some of it, but send it to me anyway. Because I might just see it. And I would love to come in and watch you live. Yes, Blessed. We are so happy you're here. Stick around. I'm going to introduce you to a lot of people. But clout off of Aaron? Aaron, you're just new to us in the begging game. And when we come across somebody new, we're all going to cover you, Aaron. And I did not get a follow by Cash Patel. Echo, who is the head of the U.S. Marshal Service right now?
Gadius S. Sarauta is the current director of the U.S. Marshal Service.
I was trying to be quiet because if I say anything else, he's going to keep talking. Oh, girl, you didn't see his blanket cease and desist? Let's see. This is the blanket cease and desist for cyber stalking, harassment, and false information. And we don't have permission to use any of his footage from past, present, or future. There's your cease and desist. So, I can't even say that person's name because I can't remember. But they're not following me either. Maybe they're watching my lives on rewatch. I don't know. But I was hoping they would follow me because that's the cloud I'm looking for. Correct, Miss Coffee. And when I told him that he said that it's illegal for us to stream him. It's against TikTok, not legal. It's against TikTok guidelines to restream him. And I said it's also against TikTok guidelines to tell people to send money into your payment apps. He said, no, it isn't. So I proved it to him. I showed him. It is against TikTok guidelines. And I also told y'all to make sure you use words like financial enmeshment and excessive daily begging. And then when you do report, make sure you put this live needs to be taken down. Start with that. Because you already put frauds and scams, so they know, right? This live needs to be taken down because this is excessive daily asking to be sent to payment apps off of TikTok. And that is financial enmeshment. And then if you can sneak in there against community guidelines, they only give us so many letters, so many spaces. So he's a member of a agency. He's a member of characters. Thank you. He's a member of an agency. And most of the time, you're not allowed to beg and be a part of an agency. I know what agency he's a member of. I know what agency he's a part of. Why? Because he runs his mouth too much. They always give it away. They always give it away. Just listen. I know the name of his manager too. Right, Mad Holly. Like I told him, if people didn't know what he needed it for, the amount he needed, and where to send it, then he can tell me that his chat did it for him. But as long as they know those three things, and those three things had to come out of his mouth. Good morning. Thank you for that. Okay, Sherry. As long as they know those things and those things came out of his mouth, then he's begging. Because guess what? Even if somebody... Now, it'd be one thing if he came on and was just like, hi, everybody, and somebody just sent him an amount to his Cash App. Okay. But when you post that your phone is going to get cut off, and that's not the 1 month bill. If you didn't say that, they wouldn't know to send it. Right? And if he was working his agency properly, he could battle and make the money. But he doesn't want to because that takes time and energy. And it also requires that people throw for you. But usually the agency will send people in. They all claim they don't beg. Yes, he has food stamps. He's on SSI. He gets less than $1,000 a month. And because of an overpayment of some kind, he was getting $124 less. Again, he told us that. Make Skittles. And then he's like, the only people that can open it are the FBI. Why are the FBI involved in your case, sir? Oh, he has good charges. I don't know if Skittles wants to come up and tell us the charges or just send us to her page, and she's posted videos, her and Dr. Dre. He does hate you. And when they hate you, it means you're doing something right. Because if you weren't having an impact, why would he hate you? If only 3 people saw it, why does he get so mad? Good morning.
Good morning, my friend.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Another day with no visit from the FBI, unfortunately.
I know that's right.
I was hoping today would be the day, but Kash Patel hasn't contacted me, his biker gang, nobody. It's crazy. He has 5 charges. I do believe 2 of them are terroristic threats. One against an adult, another against a minor. He has an SA charge, and there is a charge of throwing bodily fluids at an officer and terroristic threats on a computer.
Wow.
Yeah, and I find it so funny that he claimed I make terroristic threats. Sir, you should know about terroristic threats better than anybody.
Absolutely. Do you know what he was convicted of?
All of them.
Oh, so those aren't charges. Those are his convictions.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. Yeah, those are what he was convicted of. I do have copies of them. I have redacted them. They actually came from All for One. If you guys do not follow All for One, why? First and foremost.
Fact.
He is a god, and he is the nicest person I have ever met. He gave Aaron a platform, which in my opinion, Aaron did on purpose, not for resources, but for clout, which he claimed to be. And then he tried to go up against Tired of the Nonsense. That's one. Oh. Oh yeah. He hates a woman, and I have no shame in saying that. If you are a woman, you mean nothing to him. Not damn thing. The money that you give him belongs to him, and he doesn't have to tell you what he does with it. I just don't understand how he can sit on live for 4 hours, say all of those horrible things, do all of that, and doesn't get taken down. But I restreamed the exact same video, and I got taken down 3 times.
And you know what's funny? I said last night in the sub live that I thought when I talked about what Yaz did, I would at the very least get a restriction because her live didn't get it, but me talking about it would. TikTok is so selective. It's crazy.
It really is. But yeah, no, he is throwing around all of these threats that he told on a live, which brought a lot of people who are in this live into my life, and you all know who you are, and I love you all. My wind chimes are going crazy. I am sorry. He threatened me openly, said that he knew where I lived, he knew where I worked, he knew the police chief of my town. He was going to call my job. He was going to call the police. He was going to call the FBI. And then he called me Monica. I can tell y'all one thing, I'll never tell you my name, but my name is not Monica.
I know that's right.
I am anonymous for a reason. My name is not Skittles. I need to find somebody who can make me an AI portrait, because apparently my emblem looks like the Wendy's girl. Found that hilarious, but true, accurate.
That is accurate.
But yeah, he hates a woman. He hates anybody that contradicts him, and he does not want your resources. He says that we make money off of him. Y'all can go to the little app that tells you how much I make. I think I've made like 5 cents in the past 2 weeks. I don't keep, I mean, oh yeah, I'm his next girl. Stop it. Stop it.
I
No,
don't care
he
what they say. I'm not restreaming them. I actually take time and effort and resources and a lot of hours spent on doing what I do.
and that's what Dre
So
does.
I
Dre does
don't
that
care.
side. Dre takes the time and he goes through the videos and he chops them up and he adds the commentary to them. And then I restream the videos on my platform. Oh, yeah. No, he fully, I expect when he emerges from whatever hole he's in and he finds out that I streamed him, what was it, night before last? Oh, God. I guess the FBI is coming for me. I'm waiting. I can't wait.
But this is what's so funny. He always wants to talk to somebody that he calls level headed until, because that's what he did for Tired of the Nonsense. Adam was like, listen, I came here to hear your side of the story, whatever, whatever. And then the moment he dry begged, and Aaron was like, look at what you just did. Now now Adam is a bad guy.
Yep.
He won't get in a box with me. A, because he doesn't respect women, but B, I'm quick on the uptake. You can't just tell me anything and then I gotta come back 3 hours later and be like, but what about this? I am a question asker.
Exactly. And he was like, I don't understand. Can you guys just give me a week and don't cover me? I can't get a job. Sir, me covering you has no impact on you getting a job
No.
whatsoever. And I said, you're openly asking me to stop showing people that you're begging for money. Yes, he wants to talk to Checkmate and he wants to talk to Fallon. I pray for his soul if either one of those get in touch with him because those aren't the ones. Okay? I respect the shit out of those two because those are not the ones. But yeah, no, if you are against him, you are the enemy completely. I fully believe that he went on Adam and Jeff's platform not for help of any kind. I think he was looking for new people to fund his life. I don't believe he's walked 200 miles. I don't believe he's walked 20 miles. I believe he's in the same spot he's been in until he can beg enough money to get a bus ticket.
Oh, I
And
agree.
he speaks of having all of these different accessories on his person that you're not supposed to have when you have felony charges that you've been convicted of, but he swears up and down he has clearance. That's funny.
Why does Aaron think he's so special? Like, that's delusions of grandeur.
I
That you
think
can do all of those things. And that's like when he tries to throw the FBI in our face or the marshals, or I was able to disprove. In fact, what he put on his page, I went through word for word on Friday and showed y'all that he has twisted it to try to fit his narrative, but none of it connects.
he
And
said
he's like,
something special.
all your little fair use and for entertainment purposes only don't cut it.
Yeah, apparently.
What cuts it then, sir? If those don't apply to what we're doing, why not?
And apparently he's got open cases against me, against Dr. Dre, against All for One, against, I guess, probably you now. I can't wait. I mean, myself personally, I hope the same lawyer that represented him for his other 5 charges represents him again. I mean, damn. I don't know. At the end of the day, my thoughts are this. I feel like he is entitled, but I also feel like from people that I have spoken to who know him personally, I feel like he can be dangerous. I do. And I'm sorry if that's not a good thing to say, but I wouldn't be alone in a room with him. I wouldn't. So I wouldn't approach him personally, or
Oh
if you
no, me
do,
neither.
approach him with not your account. Don't make sure none of your information is on there. Make sure no identifiable information is on your profile because, yeah,
Let me say this. I used to say it every live and then I kind of got away from it. If you are going to be active in this community, create excuse me, create an account for being an anti-scammer that doesn't have any of your identifiable information on it. Don't even have the two accounts following each other.
No.
Okay? If you have already established this account as your personal account, create a personal account. Make sure your personal account is private. Move any photos, identifying information, where you live, photos of your family, children, adults, it doesn't matter, even your pets, and
Yeah.
move all of it to your private page, your personal page.
Okay.
Interact with your family and friends on your personal page. Make sure that it's private, and then use your anti-scam for this, because they might not be able to get me, but if they can get one of y'all, they will, just for you being in here. And we all know he has spies because I caught one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I
I've been
caught a
trying to
spy.
find the one who's
So
you'll have to send it to me.
and also block your follow list. Nothing.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
Later.
Yeah, wait, I wasn't even talking to him. Mind you, if I asked him to turn on a light, I have to say that 45 times. But um yeah, he'll try to get to the lowest to try to scare you and then into scaring us. Have a separate account that you do your anti-scam on. There, oh, that's what I was saying. Block your following list. You can actually turn that off so people can't see who it is.
Yep.
Oh,
I
you didn't
actually
mean to
did
come
that
up? I'm
after
sorry.
I actually did that after Stella blocked me because I followed you. I did
Oh,
that the
it's
day.
oh
Yeah.
what, yeah, that's true. That's true. Christy, are you the Hexas Cowboys mom? I would love to talk to you.
But
I
you
would
know,
love to talk to you.
I think that what you're doing digital is great. Thank you for everything. I am well within what is legally right for me to do. I have
Correct.
spoken to many people. I have been told you can do this, you cannot do that. If you guys have not noticed, in the past week, I have kind of changed my demeanor a little bit. Yes, I was pretty hardcore in the beginning, but I'm trying to work on that so that, I don't appear as a threat. I identify as a threat, but I'm trying to not appear as a threat. Anywho,
Right.
thank you for everything that you do. I sent
Thank
you
you.
some screenshots of some accounts that you should look into. I'm waiting on Aaron to get back, and we'll see what delusions of grandeur he has today.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You guys have a great day.
You too, and thank you for everything you do.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Christy, you said you somebody said you unmodded a few days ago. Would you mind getting in the box? Let me be very clear. I will be 100% respectful. I just want to talk to you about. I just want to, as always, I just want to ask a few questions. I understand you no longer mod for him, but would you mind getting in the box? Because I just want to have a conversation about, first of all, proud of you that you unmodded yourself. Because I cannot right now. I'm in the hospital for my daughter gets. Okay, that's fine, Christy. I hope your daughter's surgery goes well and that it is uneventful and that she heals quickly and completely. Just so you're aware, so that if ever there's an opportunity for you to come in the box, I was only going to talk about or ask you about what made you decide to be his mod. What was the draw? Because I am all about educating. I'm all about having a conversation. I'm all about being honest and clear. And one of the questions that is always on my mind is that when I see them, very quickly I'm able to ferret out beggar or not, scammer or not, someone who takes advantage of people or not. And I always wonder to myself, what is it that yes, just got discontinued? Excellent. Thank you, Amazing Grace, for saying so. Good, good, good. She doesn't need to be on here. I'm just curious about what is it about that particular person. And sometimes people just want to be a mod. And when they get the opportunity, it doesn't really matter who the account is or what they're all about. They get to be a mod. So I am always interested in understanding why. And then equally, excellent, Jade Ray, I'm also interested in understanding what made you walk away. Because one of the things that is very important to me is to warn people who have not done it yet but are considering. And also, how do we encourage people to walk away? I already know that people, yeah, I know he has drug Holly in the worst way. And so, but I'm interested in what I know that being mean and nasty is going to do the opposite to anybody considering leaving. That's just human nature. But I'm very interested in what kind of conversations we can have, what messages we could send that could encourage somebody to see the person that they're modding for in the right light. Wow. So you're in the hospital with your daughter and he's still asking for money, and that threw you over the edge. Yeah, understand something, people. When people are like, oh, why are you talking about them? Mind your business. You don't have a life. This, that, and the third. First of all, me not having a life is the funniest thing on the planet. This is just my passion project. And when something is a passion and not the job, you don't mind doing it every single day. But I definitely have a life. If I have nothing else but my cats, I have a life. But anyway, one of the things people have to bear in mind is that the beggar never has an end goal. There's never too much. They can have everything they need today and they'll still ask for more. They do not care about, hey, MAGA girl, I was thinking about you last night or this morning. For some reason, you just came across my mind. It's good to see you. Please, I'm going to follow you too, Christy, and I'm going to ask that, oh, you did follow me. Awesome. I am very interested in trying to prevent people from falling victim, whether it's as a mod, as a supporter, whatever it is, because they don't have a too much point. And what I say to people who are still hell-bent on giving money, I say this: you have a limit because they don't. So if you say, you know what, I'm going to continue to support them, say at $100, I'm going to stop. At $200, I'm going to stop. At $500, I'm going to stop. And have a limit. And when you hit it, stop. And then I want you to tell them no twice in a row. And then I want you to see how they treat you after that. Let's see if they still want you to be a mod. Let's see if they still shout out your name. Let's see if they're excited to see you when you come in. Because that's usually not the case. Usually, it's, well, what have you done for me lately? And if the done for me lately isn't lately enough, they have no more use for you. And this is the other thing. When people are encouraged by what other people do, and this is what we talk about enabling. If you see somebody say, come on guys, if everybody gave $1, they would have it, that's enabling. But if you also see people in the comments, I sent it, or I'm gonna send it to you, it encourages other people to do the same, because if this smart looking person named Christy is a mod and gave him money, then I should be safe to give him money. But this is the other thing you have to bear in mind. Once you send them something on a payment app, they can continue to request from you. So my second piece of advice is, if you've ever given a beggar, scammer, liar, manipulator money, block them on your payment app, and then they can't request from you any longer. You are not beholden to these individuals. Because the question is, who's paying your bills? When you have an unexpected expense, will the same person that you've given hundreds of dollars beg for you to get your unexpected expense covered? He didn't even care that your daughter was in the hospital. And they look at how quickly I was like, your daughter's in the hospital, don't worry about it. I played for her swift recovery. Not him. Well, then block Kelly. Block Kelly. And don't be surprised if Kelly don't give him the information. Thank you, Christy. I appreciate you too. And I appreciate you having the courage to come into this space and say anything at all. Because they will make you feel like it's a scary place to be around here. It's not going to be scary here. Now, if you were still modding, I would have other questions, like why? But you're going to figure out that there are some of the kindest, nicest, most helpful people in this community. I am not against the individual begging. I am against them begging, because they are taking advantage of the kindness of other people. My compassion doesn't land with them and stay there. I have compassion for the people who may be elderly, who may be moms and dads and have their own expenses. And here they are, out the kindness of their heart, foregoing what they could use the money for to give it to a complete stranger. And especially, most of these strangers have family. Why isn't the family picking up the slack? You have to ask yourself that question. How many people would let their son or daughter actually be that hungry that they felt like they were starving? Or an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, a sibling, a friend from high school? And the fact that his baby mama is in there co-signing this nonsense while he doesn't pay child support for her child or the other children he has is crazy. The fact that she gave him her food stamp card is crazy. And for the record, having a felony on your record makes it harder to find work. It doesn't make it impossible. And as smart as Aaron says that he is, why won't he start his own business? You're the smartest person in the room, Aaron. Ron. Start a business. Now, he claims that he's been in a hotel room. Well, this was on Saturday. That he's in a hotel room for a couple of days because he worked and earned money along the way. When? Because you've been telling us that because we've been highlighting his begging, he's been unable to get side work. And then my question is, since you got enough money for 2 nights in a hotel room, did you tell Social Security? Hey, Holly. Did you tell Social Security that you worked enough to be able to pay for 2 nights at a hotel room? Because if you didn't, Ron, you are deceiving the government. And I thought you were all about supporting the government. Huh, Ron? Mr. Anti-Bullying Movement? How about we be the not break the law movement? How about we be the Social Security accountability community? Because as I showed y'all, when you are on SSI, whether you claim it as a gift or not, if it is used for housing or food, it must be reported. And you don't get to report it at the end of the year when you file taxes. You need to report it in the month that it happened, because then they adjust your next Social Security check. So this upstanding, righteous man is breaking the law. But I don't have a life. I'll show y'all. Oops. Damn, I done gone over 9:30. Lord have mercy. Let's see it. Let me find it. Hopefully I still have it and I don't have to re-download it. Oh, wait, nope. That's the end. I found it. Can you receive a gift without losing benefits? Now, there is a difference between SSI and SSDI. We know he has SSI. So SSI recipients must follow strict rules or they risk losing benefits. This guide will cover, and it talks about the differences. Do you have to report gifts to Social Security Administration, etc.? Hold on. Number 1, small gifts under $20 is no impact. If someone gives you $20 or less per month, Social Security does not count it as income. Your friend gives you $15 for coffee. This does not affect SSI. If someone gives you more than $20, SSA counts it as unearned income, which may reduce your SSI payment. For example, if your SSI payment is $943 per month and you receive a $500 cash gift, even if it's called a gift, SSA may deduct $500 from your next SSI check. So they used a $500 cash gift as an example, but it's $21. I don't get paid to be in other people's business. Neither do you, so why are you here? I came a long way. That's Damika, isn't it? Damika, when is your start date, baby? When are you getting the keys to your apartment? Don't you have bigger fish to fry, Damika? Huh? Because I could certainly run you back. Would you like to discuss you, Damika? Good for you. Let's see how long it lasts. Because how many apartments have we had in the last 2 years? How long are you going to rely on being a tornado victim? So if you're not worried about me, why are you here? You weren't even on the grid today. You see how quickly they try to twist it? You're not worried about me. So why are you here? Because remember, you were big and bad when you moved into the last place. But then, of course, the mold was too bad. You didn't notice the mold when you moved in? Baby, you on your best day, you couldn't bully me. And I'm not bullying anybody else. If you had any sense, you would recognize that I am educating people on the way SSI works. But don't you have kids to take care of? Go live your life, boo. Get a second job. Damika. Oh, let me help y'all out. Let me show y'all what she looked like. Cause and Damika thought getting a drink while she was in a hotel was flexing on somebody. It wasn't. Nobody cared. Not a single person cared. Let's see. Do I have her page up? This is Damika. This is I came a long way. You thought getting drinks in a hotel room was a flex? You thought being able to close the door in a hotel room was a flex that other people had to pay for? That's a flex, Damika? You came into the wrong live if you thought you was coming in here and moving and shaking a single thing. You have too much fish to fry than to come in here and thinking that thank you for sharing the live. Thank you. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for keeping the live going. What should I let you in the box for? You didn't come in here respectful in any way, shape, or form. So why would I give you my box to come in and be even more disrespectful? I didn't ever call you a hater, but you came in here on 10. As if I don't know what's going on with you. You aren't. I love how they are not even on the grid, but they think they can come in here and move and shake something. I'm not intimidated by a single one of y'all. But then I'm sure you're going to go live later and be like, and I was in that Digital's live and she was talking about me and blah, blah, blah. And then I asked her for a box and she didn't let me. Why should I? You know why? Because you would never let me in your box. You wouldn't let me come in and ask you questions. So why in the world would I give you mine? And believe me, it's not fear. Because 1,000,000 people have seen me get in a box. I have no problem with it. Why, you see 400 people in here and you think you're going to gain 400 followers? Again, so why would I let you in the box? You say stuff that don't even make sense. You don't have to answer to me, but you're here. Go join my Facebook. We don't do TikTok. What do you mean you don't do TikTok? You are on TikTok every day, damn near. And you act like because you get support on Facebook that makes a difference in what you're doing. You laid down and had those children. That is nobody else's problem but your own. You keep using the tornado as an excuse for why you need places when we know you really faced a fire. And as soon as you got money on the GoFundMe for that fire, you have continued to expect other people to fund your lifestyle. Period. How many places have you gotten on the back of I was in a tornado? Huh? How many apartments do you need? Your attitude sucks. You know why people don't want to help you? And I mean the professionals that could actually help you, because you are rude and nasty. You think you know everything. You expect other people. Wait a minute, I never needed TikTok. You people are just dumb. So everybody who supports her on TikTok, she doesn't need y'all. Y'all can stop sending her money. She doesn't need y'all. Okay, let me snap a photo of that comment so I can let everybody know on TikTok that she doesn't need y'all. Dumb where? Dumb where? I see her. I see her disturbed one. Dumb where? See, the thing is, you've been in here for 2 minutes. There isn't a single person in here that would ever consider calling me dumb. Dumb is not in the description of digital. Not at all. And I know how to speak in a kind, polite, professional manner. You do not. The fact that you feel like other people should carry the weight that you need to carry is baffling. You actually had a nerve to laugh at your ex's girlfriend talking about she didn't have a car. You didn't have a place to take your kids. And you laughing at somebody else for not having a car? Anything to try to make yourself feel better. But this is the wrong live. You might be able to go into some of them other lives and check somebody. You can't do it here. You can't do that here. Are you okay? Because my bills are paid. Are you okay? But we'll be watching because your rent and bills are paid because somebody else paid them, D'Amica, not you. Not you. Would you be okay if people stopped sending you money? Would your kids eat if people stopped sending you money? Or would y'all be living in the car until another group figured it out for you? Am I okay? I will be more okay than you every single day. Okay? I know you didn't stay in the car because other people paid for you to not stay in the car. And you know what? It wasn't because of you. It was because people didn't want to see your children stay in the car. The reason why you're getting housing isn't because of you. It is because of your children. We feel bad for your kids because of who their mother is. We feel bad for your children. We feel bad for your children that you claim that the house you moved them into was full of mold. You don't know how to look around an apartment and see mold? And then to say that asthma has nothing to do with smoking, are you okay? I don't know a single severe asthmatic that is told by a doctor that smoking is just fine. But you tried to make that separation. I don't know what you thought coming in here was going to do, but the only thing you did was make yourself look more foolish. So you can run along or you can stay and learn something. I don't really care. But I know when you leave here, you're going to block me. It won't matter though, because as my song says, I'm always watching in the shadows. So don't worry about it. I'll be there to listen. I'll listen to you go off about me for 10 minutes. Correct. Smoked, and she smokes, and told people it don't have nothing to do with it. The mold was the problem. Okay. I'm sorry, TikTok president.
Oh no, you're good. I just seen a bunch, and I've been seeing this a lot in other awareness lives where we have people that come into our lives or other people's lives that at one point supported a beggar. And I just want to say that it is important for you to have some awareness and a level of compassion for these people. If they are coming into an awareness person's live of somebody that they either once supported or are currently supporting, that you welcome them in there. That
Absolutely.
you welcome them in there. You're giving them the information. You're not being hostile with them. And I say that because of what was just going on in your comment section with Christy. Okay.
Oh, people were
I
being
had,
mean to Christy?
well, Chief was calling Christy out pretty hard. But I just want to remind people that we wouldn't have our platforms if it weren't for the people who once supported the Beggars. We
Absolutely.
wouldn't have our platform, and it's important that you allow them to come in, that they feel safe here, that they feel welcomed here. Because if they feel like you're bullying them, or now they are now the bad guy and the bad person because they once supported the beggar, then they're going to put a bad name on us. That makes us the bullies. That is what the beggars claim we are. And if you're attacking them for now coming over here to get the information, that gives them exactly what they say we are. So quit attacking the ones that used to mod or used to support. I'm not saying trust them. Keep your eyes open, but welcome them in. There's nothing hurting by welcoming them in.
Thank you for that, and I agree wholeheartedly. If you guys didn't take a lesson from the way I treated her, that's how it's done. She said she no longer supports him, and you sending me a gift, girl. Girl, I don't need your gifts. Believe me, I don't need your gifts. You're just making a fool out of yourself. Mind you, she shared the live and the numbers haven't moved at all. So whoever you were sending it to, it didn't go anywhere. But yes, if you didn't take a lesson from the way I treated her, please do.
And I'll
Because
just say this too, like, when you're in the thick of it with somebody and you think you have a friendship with somebody, you naturally gravitate to protecting them, to lying for them, to riding hard for them, to having their back to the fullest. So yes, Christy rode hard when she was a mod. Carrie rode hard for Christina. And now look, she's my girl. Okay. So I'm just, people ride hard for their friends. And sometimes it takes a minute for them to realize, okay, I no longer stand for this. This is not normal. I need to exit stage left. And when they
something
do,
but something had to happen though. She
right.
had to realize that he didn't really care about her. And this is the thing. They have people like D'Amica in there saying they're mean and nasty, they're bullying and harassing. If the first time they come around us, we bully them, we have fit the mold that the beggar has created.
Right. Yeah. So
You are absolutely welcome here, Christy. Please be a cat daddy. Please be mindful. Please be mindful. And I know that you sometimes hear people get called out here. They get called out here after they've been talked to multiple times.
Right.
Not just I happen to see you in a live and now I'm going to call you out. If you don't know how call outs happen here, don't do it. Or go do it on your live. But don't use this platform to try to do a call out, because if you haven't spoken to them, have you looked up the definition of bully, D'Amica? Have you? Because the last thing I am is a bully. I'm a truth teller. I'm a storyteller. I'm a person who does research. Hey, Stabby Daddy. I'm a person that does research. I talk facts, and when it's my opinion, I say so. Girl, we have watched you lie on your live. How many times? How many times? You'll tell us you're going to lie and then lie. Be for real. And if I make a mistake, the beautiful thing about me is that I'll come here and I'll say, I made a mistake, or I got this wrong, or let me update y'all. Or the information I said that earlier with Cece and her man. I thought he got out. And he did. It's nobody's fault that you laid down and had a bunch of kids you couldn't afford to take care of. Close your legs and teach your children better. But aren't you already a grandmother? Bullies. And we're going to get sued. Let me know. Because you are probably the 100th beggar on here to say so. Because what you have to prove is that I intentionally defamed you, that I intentionally lied on you, and then you have to prove that you faced some financial hardship because I did so. When you have all the elements, let me know. Let me know. And clearly you're good because you're sending me gifts. Who sends somebody they don't like gifts? Somebody that they're calling a bully a gift. For what purpose? Right. If what you do on TikTok is what I talk about on TikTok, that's not defamation. Correct. 100%. You don't want us to know that you've been in 5 apartments in 3 months? Don't tell us. And obviously I'm being facetious when I say that. You don't want us to know that your baby daddy ain't worth a damn? Don't call him on live to prove it. You want to act like you're the better mother than everybody else, but you done moved your kids from one place to another how many times? When are you going to give your children stability instead of you needing to be right all the time? You know when you can do what you want in a house is when you own it. And then this is the funny part. As long as you have a mortgage, a bank is telling you what you can and cannot do. And if you end up in an HOA, they get to tell you what you can and cannot do. So heaven forbid with this quote unquote good job where she's making even more money, heaven forbid there be a manager who tries to tell her what she can and cannot do. I have no idea. Haitian Key, trying is one thing. Begging for every single expense you have and then doing a whole clock it because somebody else paid for your hotel room. I don't know how long you've been around Haitian Key, but we've done this with her multiple times, over and over and over again. Correct, Sanji. We've watched her do this same short song and dance over and over again. So how'd you get the hotel room if nobody paid for it? Because you didn't. You didn't. If you wanted us to stay out of your business, you wouldn't tell us your business. You know why people don't know my business? Because I don't tell them. If I know how much you need, what you need it for, and when I could send the money, that's a beggar. Barry's not, oh, you want a box. I was about to say, I'm not giving her a box to come in here and act like the fool she acts like on her live. Absolutely not. So that she could try to get my live taken down? Absolutely not.
Hey, real quick, is this the one who made a video about going off to the casino with her GoFundMe money?
I don't know.
Somebody in the chat may know. BK made a video about it because this person is private now, and they made a video saying, "Off to the casino with my GoFundMe money." That's her sugar.
Word.
Yeah, who the hell do you think you are, ma'am?
Wow. Wow.
So, and you stood in here in the chat bragging that you scammed us all, but you on the way to the casino with that money. Make it make sense, ma'am. You're the one who made the video. You the one who made the video. Was it sarcasm? Because it sure didn't look like it to me.
But who would even say that? Especially when
Well,
you've been
someone said she's
relying.
show proof. Oh, baby, I got the screenshots. I got the screenshots of you saying in here saying you scammed everybody.
She would
Yeah,
post a
calling
whole
BS. She
money
got the
spread on her
video.
bed. Wow. Like, even if you're being facetious, even if you're exaggerating, you have gotten money from people to feed your children, to take care of your housing. Just because you pay for the hotel room doesn't mean the money came from you.
If the shoe fits, D'Amica, you're in here saying all this. I know you're being facetious, but it's half truth. Yeah, you are. I'm gonna
And
drop
for
now. I just wanted to make sure I knew that that was who that was doing that.
absolutely, berries, and thank you for pointing it out.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh wait, hold on. Anybody who might be new in here may have never seen this, and I'm going to go back to it every time. Good. I'm glad you got a new truck. Keep flaunting and flossing. It doesn't make a difference. This is what I put together, and it's called the spectrum of scamming. Because they like to say, if I use the money for what I said I was using it for, I'm not scamming. Well, this is the spectrum. I came along, D'Amica. Nobody cares. You got a million house. Can you put that in a proper sentence? Anyway, prior to them getting to $1 million house, wait, did you win the lottery? Because that would be the only way. before they, oh, well, congratulations. Good for your children. Glad for them. Maybe you won't have to come back to TikTok and beg, but make sure you get an attorney and a financial planner, or else that money won't last long because you need to show off. Be great for you. Right. Pay back some of the people who gave you money all this time. Great. Wonderful. Nobody cares. If you stop begging, guess what? You won't be on the grid. You won't be on the grid. That's all it takes, is for you to not beg. But it starts off with white lies and the omission of the truth. For instance, they'll leave out the fact that they have a voucher. They'll leave out that they get EBT. They'll leave out that somebody else lives in the house and pays half the rent. They'll just leave things out, or they'll tell little white lies. A lie is a lie, but they'll tell you little. Then they do dry begging, which is, oh, my phone is going to get cut off, and then I'm not going to be able to go live and spend time with y'all, and I got to be able to talk to my doctors, and my kid's school is going to need to, but y'all don't got to send me anything. I'm just trying to figure it out. Waiting for somebody to say, like, well, do you have a payment app? How much do you need? Well, I'm not asking y'all, I'm just telling y'all. And this straightforward begging, my phone needs to get paid. I don't want my kids to sleep in the car. We need a hotel room. And then there's manipulative lying. Like putting a yellow hue on your face while you're in the hospital to seem more sick than you are. And then finally, scamming, where it is the deliberate and premeditated acts of deception designed to steal from or exploit others, often causing significant financial or emotional harm. Thank you. I'm sorry I made you wait so long. Good
Good
morning.
morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you too.
I don't know. I accidentally hit the button because I heard Jamaica's name and I saw her in the chat. It's just so tiresome. You know what, Jamaica? Congratulations on whatever house you have in your head. Congratulations on whatever job you've been promised and hasn't gotten. Just congratulations. No one on this end cares. We really honestly don't. Go on with your life. And you don't get credit for shit you're supposed to be doing by taking care of your kids and raising them properly. But I know one thing, see you in 4 to 5 months when you're back on the streets looking for a place to live and a job.
Boop. I don't know why she thought coming in here was a good idea.
She has no friends on this app. She's lonely. She needs to belong to something. Start your own group. Do something. We don't need you over here. We really honestly don't. You've lied to your users and your followers and your friends. You betrayed, you talk about them like a dog. You block them. And then you reach out to them in DMs begging them for money. Oh yeah, I posted those too. And you're stupid enough to post that?
I know. But
Like
we're bullies.
I honestly don't know what's going on with you. I really honestly don't. I hope you have the money you need to move on successfully and to move off this app because you're just, there's no words for you anymore. You're sad. You're sad.
And wait, she won the lottery. She was able to buy $1 million home and a brand new truck cash. But
Yeah,
she's
she didn't
only
buy
gonna
shit. Yeah.
but she's only gonna bless two people. Did
Yeah, I
only
don't,
two
yeah.
people bless her?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't care.
No, 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 no.
I don't
This
care.
is somebody completely different. This the person we're talking about right now. Where's the photo I used?
Yeah.
I gotta
I'm
find
happy
it.
for
Oh,
you.
here.
And I hope with that money you're able to buy all the alcohol and weed that you need.
This is her.
It's just
Yeah,
sad. It's
right.
really sad.
She'll be the one to bless me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, she rolls up while she's on live. Absolutely. This is her. She said she won the lottery and brought $1 million home.
That's nice. That's really nice. When you were begging for $80 the day before yesterday, but that's cool. That's I hope I wish you all the best. I really honestly do. But let me just tell you something. Rich folks don't come on TikTok and jump in people's lives to brag about
Facts!
crap.
Especially when nobody was talking about you.
And on a personal note, and I'm gonna say it, take that money and go get you and your son some help.
I know. Doesn't she always say they have mental health issues? Please, please avail yourself. Right. She bought a house that fast. But whatever. We are going to end on that note. Thank you for coming up, calling BS. And I swear, I'm going to stop saying something's going to be an abbreviated live because it never is.
I honestly think I think it's because you didn't have your coffee. I think everyone in the chat knows what the truth is. We know what's going on. You have a good day. Have a good day, everyone.
You too. Listen, I appreciate all of you guys being here. Most of you are returns who come and you are with me every single day that I go live. And for anybody new, I go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 9:30 about Eastern. Yes, please thank TikTok president. She has done these two for me, and it literally, I absolutely love it. This live will be posted on YouTube by this evening, if not earlier. Sometimes I do snippets because I'm trying to get people to learn a little something about the people that I cover. Please hug your loved ones because tomorrow isn't promised to any of us. And please do a moment of self-care. We're going to get back to talking about self-care and words of encouragement and affirmation. But since I was gone for so long, I needed to just get to the nitty gritty. And we know it's going to be like this for a few months because tax return season. Oh, I wonder if she got a tax return. Anyway, she should with all those kids. Anyway, we know why they do this. There's absolutely no question. So I decided to do an outro song that says it beautifully. Echo. Please play For the Love of Money by the OJs.
For the Love of Money by the OJs on Amazon Music.
Everybody, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on Wednesday morning. Thank you, my mods, for making this an easy, clean live.